Happy Free Friday. Happy Free Friday, guys. And happy Labor Day weekend as well. Labor Day weekend. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. You know, if you're off for the weekend, you have a long weekend ahead, like myself, after you do your work day, be safe, enjoy, use this time to do self-caring, get some hobbies done, like some of your hobbies, get your hobbies in, just have some fun, just reset, recharge, do a lot of mindless stuff like, watch things that doesn't, take up too much of you trying to figure out what the next thing is. Like with me, when I go to the movie, that'd be my thing. I barely can enjoy the movie because I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Dang, I'm trying to interpret the movie and trying to create my own ending to where it's taking the fun for me, just enjoying the movie, and which that's something I have to practice. You know what I'm saying? I have to practice not doing it, just taking time, just to be mindless when I'm watching a movie or a sitcom or whatever, especially when I go to the movies, because I'm taking all the fun out of it. So that's that's something I have to work on. Just enjoying that. So do that. This coming weekend, you have like a long weekend ahead, like I said before. Just do something mindless, just enjoy, just being off, just take in your atmosphere, different things, the beauty of things, do window shopping, just engaging in your hobbies. So that's what you should do. This Labor Day weekend. So non-laboring. So Labor Day is non-laboring. And also it also introduces the fall part of the year. So that start thinking about like fall beauty, fall decor, fall clothes. Start getting into like your fall scents and things like that. That's what I was doing like yesterday. I went in, what was that? Was Ross. And I find some more fall scents. Like I find like a good, nice little pumpkin spice hand soap. So I'm getting into more like, and that's like a self-care thing for me too. Like the smell goods and stuff like that. And it still got I don't know if the sale ended yesterday, but like have like the $5.95, Bath and Body sprays and stuff like that. That's good. Something, good, nice aroma. That's also good, like therapy. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it, guys. Free Friday. Happy Free Friday again. We're gonna talk about dreams, the purpose behind it. We're gonna talk about why do we dream, and question, why do you think you dream? What's the purpose behind dreaming? It's a reason why we dream. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, when we get into that, we call it that third sleep, that REM sleep. That that's when we go into like another world almost, seem like. So, but the dream is basically like to me, dreaming is like a whole picture of who you are, things you experience, things that your inner thoughts, your underlying feelings and emotions, they come out in dreams. So a lot of times too, dreams can be foretelling if there's evil. Like say if there's if there's evil lurking at your door, if there is like, somebody got it out for you, things like visible and invisible enemies. A lot of time it comes out in your dream. Like a lot of times, things that we are in a spiritual world. Things are happening in another realm. We are like in the physical realm right now. We're not in the spiritual world. We're in the physical realm. We're in the physical realm right now. But there are things that's happening in the spiritual world, which I call the parent. The spiritual world is the parent to the physical world. So basically what's going on in the spirit world, it manifests in the physical world. Why do you think they say if you manifesting to call things be not as though they were? Like things happen in the spiritual world and then we see it in the physical realm. So that's the same thing like with dreams. A lot of times, God warned us through our dreams and vision about things that's happening, that stuff that we can't see, but we see it like, God shows it us like through a dream or vision. You do have people that, they dream and they have visions. So that's how they can be able to tell like what's going to happen later on down the road in their life. They can be able to tell that. So that it is real. I believe it. Like a lot of times, you know, like when I reflect back and think back things that I dreamt that I didn't have, like I used to have like little like nightmares or things that I dreamed about. Sometimes it becomes like a physical thing. You know, like if I dream about probably a deceased family member or something like that, you know, a lot of time like after that something happens, somebody passed away or something like that. So a lot of time dreams, like I say, is foretelling of what's to come in a physical sense. So with that being said, pay attention to your dreams. When was the last time you ever, like, if you remember, when you wake up, you remembered your dreams, you remember the events, what you was doing in your dream, you remember like what was going on, who was in your dream, what was the dream about? A lot of time dreams, it comes like as symbols. Like a lot of times you have to like kind of like a puzzle piece. You got to kind of put the puzzles together as to why I'm thinking about this, why this is in my dream, and especially if it's something that keeps reoccurring. You know, you have to think about it. Dreams, they mean something. If like a lot, like say for instance, if you're talking, they'll say like if you see like a deceased family member and y'all talking or whatever in a dream, they say that's more like a familiar spirit or whatever. Like you got to think about, why is this person showing up in my dream? Why am I having a full conversation? Like you in your dream having a full conversation with this person. You got to think about when you wake up, why is it? What's about to happen? Why is this going on in my dream? So that's something to think about. Dreams, sometimes the symbols and what's going on in the dream can mean something's about to happen in your life. Like if you dreaming something about you back at an old childhood, and you just kind of like you a child in your dream. You're going through the motions, like you back at whatever you did, whether you went to school, whether you work or whatever. If you're constantly dreaming about childhood, you're back there. That can mean setback. Like, because it's like, think about the whole thing, like you in your, like the setting of the dream. Think about your setting in your dreams. Okay, I'm back at home. I'm back in my childhood. I'm 10 years old again, and I'm having these dreams back to back to back. So that can mean that's what it is. It means setback. I learned that if you dream, say you're dreaming, that you have a dream that you're like at an airport, like hotels and stuff like that. That means, are you on an elevator? So they said that can be a symbol that you're transitioning somewhere. Elevator means that if you want to dream about elevator with people, that you're going up. You know what I'm saying? But they said if you on an elevator, you're on an elevator and you're seem to be going down the elevator, that means that non-promotion. So it's a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? These like dream analysis people, they can really break down what these things mean in the dreams. And I know I share on my Living Vibe page, Kevin Union. You go back and it's a private group. So if you want to get invited there, just let me know. Just put in the comments Living Vibe, and I'll see you an invite there. So he kind of break down different things of what things mean in a dream. If you dreaming that somebody is feeding you in a dream, or you're flying in a dream, that's sorcery. You know, you're having sex in a dream, that's sorcery, because it's like you're agreeing to whatever it is. Like whenever you open your mouth to receive the food, that means you're in agreement to whatever that is. A lot of time people use is like, and that's God's way of showing you somebody trying to put a spell or something on you, like you a dream, like it's something real crazy. You're having sex in a dream, you're somebody feeding you in a dream, you're talking to deceased people, you're like in a roach infestation home, or you're like in a cold, dark place. So that means that you have an invisible enemy, and they are trying to put, we call it down here, root or witchcraft. So those are different symbols, especially if it's very intrusive. You have these dreams back to back to back. That means something going on. You know, you need to either like pray harder or fast or rebuke or something. So that what that means, like in those dreams, when you're constantly having those dreams of setback. You're talking to their relatives in a dream, which is a unfamiliar. It's a familiar spirit. That's what it is. That's posing like a deceased family member and things like that. So you have to just kind of think about, be mindful of stuff like that. When you having nightmares and it's people involving people that you know in your dream, you have to kind of take a look at that. What's the meaning behind that? Why is my cousin in this dream and it's showing that they're doing sneaky stuff in the dream, like they're following me or they're trying to stay in the background? It could be something about that. And then you see a face in the dream. A lot of times a familiar spirit can pose as that person, but instead of looking at that individual, I look at what's the basis behind it. Is that mean somebody out to get me in the physical realm? Does that mean, somebody's plotting? Because that's pretty much what it is when you see people in the dream. A lot of times the enemy, he masquerade like as a family member or somebody familiar, just to kind of try to throw you off. But really it means that you might need to kind of like watch your company, or you might need to, scale back on how you do certain stuff. Cause that what it means. Somebody kind of following you. You see a face, the face, but you in a dream, dreaming this. That's what that means. Just like, even back in the Bible day when you had like the different people in the Bible, like Joseph, he dreamed about, I think he dreamed 10 skinny cows, 10 fat cows, something like that. And that represent the famine, the 10 years of famine and things like that. So dreams are symbolic. So when you having those real personal dreams that somebody got you, you losing you lost your IDs, your license, you losing stuff, you fidgety. So that means, somebody trying to take your identity, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody probably trying to scandalize your name, different things. You just got to kind of, go deep into thinking like, why I'm having these things and nightmares. You're not supposed to be like, if you flying in your dream, that astral project, and that means, they say you can be like probably a blind witch because somebody is like at an evil altar, probably got your picture, likeness, or image. They're trying to use that through you. So that's why I say dreams is very powerful. And I started thinking, like when I started listening to like the guy was telling you about, listening to like some of the sermons, and I started reflecting on like some of the stuff that was going on in my personal life and some of the things that I used to dream about. And then I think about like the events that happened after that. A lot of those events were not good in my life. A lot of them, I went through a lot of the trials and a lot of the hardships. And I'm like, okay, so that what that meant when I used to kind of have those dreams and stuff like that. So that's why I've learned when I have a bad dream or nightmare or whatever, I wake up instantly and I rebuke that dream. I rebuke it. I speak forth life over my situation and I write it down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do to counteract that negative dream. But then there are good dreams too. There are good signs that, God, he'll show you good signs and dreams that you're about to be elevated, promoted. You have a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? You wake up in a good mood. Those are good dreams. Those are good dreams. Those are dreams that you want to have. Those are dreams that you want to, apply. If you have those good things going on, you want to manifest that stuff into your real and personal life. So yeah, pay attention to your dreams, because like I said, the spiritual realm, that's the parent of the physical realm, the stuff that we're going through now. Yeah, your night, I talk about that. Talking to like a deceased person in a dream. Hey Chuck, thanks for watching. Elevator dreams. Elevator, you going up, up, up. That's a good sign, meaning that you're about to be promoted. If you're on an elevator, you going down, or you walking downstairs and it's like a dark alley. Things like that. Oh, that means decrease. You want to think about, okay, what can I do to change my life? Pray, rebuke those dreams. You're arguing, fussing, fighting with somebody in a dream, and you can see like the faces. A lot of times the familiar spirits will show you like a family member or something like that, but it can be opposite. It could be a different set, it could be a whole different set of people. The basis of it is true. Yes, you're about to come against some opposition. So you need to learn probably like how I'm going to resolve this issue or whatever it is. Nobody is not biblical for somebody to be like haunting you in a dream. Haunting is a form of darkness and witchcraft. God doesn't haunt people. If you know what I'm saying, you a Christian, God give us sweet sleep. He give us visions and provisions. A haunting dream does not come from God. So when you having haunting dreams, darkness and stuff like that, that's demonic. So just know the difference. Know the difference. Okay. Evil altars are real. Soul ties are real. Spiritual spouses are real. You know what I'm saying? If you sleeping with someone, y'all have soul ties, stuff like that, that y'all are connected. Those things are real. That's why you have to bind stuff like that. Even past relationships. Because those things still tend to work and that still comes up in your dreams. Spiritual spouse, they said that's that's another form of sorcery. It's like, the spiritual spouse, a lot of times they say they come up in your dream fighting your current spouse, because the spiritual spouse, they want to take over. You got spiritual children and stuff like that. Y'all, this thing go deep. It's dark too. So, you got to just learn to fight and bind that stuff. That's all that is sorcery. And all that comes from people doing dark magic, people setting up evil altars, stuff like that. So when you think about the season coming up, I'm gonna have to go soon. Like I'm gonna say this point, I'm gonna get off. You got the Halloween season coming up, stuff like that. That's when a lot of the activities going on. That's when a lot of time people's dreams are gonna be very, very crazy around times like this. And especially like it depends on certain shows and things you watch. So just kind of pay attention, peep your dream, pay attention. Last point, stop coming into agreement with your bad dreams. How you break those things, because those are like warnings from God. Pray and rebuke it. They say cast it down, send it back to the pits of hell where it came from. You know what I'm saying? So don't agree to anything. They say like you can break your agreement. Like say if you happen to agree to something in your dream, you talking to a deceased family member, are you eating food, you're having sex in a dream, you sitting there having conversations with the demons or whatever, you can wake up and bind it. And a lot of times the enemy don't want you to remember your dreams. So he'll like help you forget your dreams. So in the morning time, have a practice of saying this. Anything I dreamt about that wasn't of God, I take authority. I bind this dream and I denounce it. Just get a habit of saying that, just in case if you forget your dream. Some people remember their dream, but just in case if you forget, just have a habit of saying that. So you won't make sure you're not in agreement with nothing in your dream. Okay, so think about it. So dreams are real and visions are real, good and bad. So think about that, guys, and and start paying more attention to what you're dreaming about, what you partaking in, what you doing in your dream, how, all that stuff. Just be mindful and careful about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off, guys. Y'all, I don't have a new Read Me Sundays coming up, but y'all can go back and check out the other blog posts and things like that. If you want to join Living Vibe, where I share a lot of these stuff on my Living Vibe page. That's my private group. Different messages and stuff like that. Sermons that I'll send to that group. So y'all check that out over there, Living Vibe. I'll send you, it automatically invites some people, but if you're not a part of that, if you want to be a part of that, say Living Vibe, and Chuck and I either accept you in. We have to make sure you have a profile picture. Make sure you have to follow community guidelines. That no harassment, no belittling people. Just you here to share in the group and things like that, uplift and inspire. So that's what Living Vibe is about, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and head. I appreciate you, Chuck, for watching. Go back and watch the replay if you just coming on. And then if you want to tell your story or whatever. Or if you just want me to do a blog post, y'all check out aprilblog.online. Y'all can get a good glimpse of like my the different people that I collaborate with, different blog topics. So y'all check that over on aprilblog.online, guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a happy, fun, safe Labor Day weekend ahead, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching.